Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aubrey and I'm really excited that you're back watching me today. So today I'm gonna do a, I guess, long requested video. So yeah, I put some fillers out there and I was just asking, some of my friends and family, what kind of video should I do next? I have all these ideas, what's a good one to do next? And of course, not everyone, but the people who did, reach out to me were like, do a video on how you do your eyebrows. I was like, okay, fine. Oh, I'm scared to do it, but I'll just do it. So, just a little backstory. I have not always had great eyebrows. I've definitely, not always been great at it, and I've definitely come a long way. It's fun to see your progression though. I was looking at some old photos of myself on Facebook with my boyfriend Jacob, and oh my gosh, ugh. I had atrocious eyebrows. Like, I would fill them in way too thick. Now, I was just so like overzealous about having thick eyebrows that I just really overdid it. And then like I started watching YouTube gurus on YouTube on how they did the eyebrows, and just like from here and there kind of developed my own technique, and have found some products that I love, and that's how I do it. So that's what I'm gonna show you today. I'm gonna do just a little bit of a different thing today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one eyebrow with more of a high-end or more high-end products, and then another eyebrow with stuff I got at the drugstore. The reason I'm doing that is because for me, when I was first starting out doing eyebrows, I couldn't just go out and, drop 60 to 80 bucks on like a brow product, a tool, a concealer, whatever. It can get a little pricey. And so I wanted to like show you that even with my brow that I do and the stuff I use, you can still get that same look with a different product that you can get at the drugstore that's a little bit more affordable. So I'm gonna start out by doing the high end, and I'll show you the products that I use. My favorite brow product is Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and it's her Dipbrow. Right now I'm using the color Soft Brown because recently I've lightened my hair, and so I don't like to be too dark on the eyebrows when my hair is lighter because I feel like it's just too much of a contrast. So yeah, and then I use one of her brushes as well. It's her 7B brush. So it's got a spoolie and then an angle brush, which is really nice. I love the spoolie because it really helps you not only brush out the hairs and get it prepped for the actual putting on the product, but it helps distribute the product once you have some on your eyebrow hairs, like if you need to blend it in some more, if you've gone a little too heavy in some areas. Then one of my favorite tips or tricks, I guess you can say, that I've learned over the years is using I use a flat definer brush just because the very first YouTube video I think I ever watched, I think, was Jaclyn Hill when she was doing her eyebrows, and this is how she cleaned up her brow line, was with a flat definer brush and some concealer. So I just went out and got one, and then some concealer. So I'm using a MAC's Mineralize concealer, which I just love it because it's not too heavy, it's really creamy and nice and light. And then for the drugstore stuff that I bought, I had never used this before until a couple nights ago, and I actually went and bought it. And funny story, I asked Jake to go with me, and I was like, run to Walmart with me, I need to get some brow products so I can show high-end versus drugstore. He's like, well, if you can do your brows with drugstore, why do you spend money on the high-end stuff? I'm just like, killjoy. Because I want to and because I can, and I just love it. I found a really pretty good deal by L'Oreal. It's L'Oreal's Brow Stylist Frame and Set, and this was the lightest dark brown color I could find, if that makes sense, which is a warm brunette, and $2.14. But it was nice because it came with a spoolie / angle brush, so it was like 10 bucks for these two things, which is a great bang for your buck. And then this concealer I got from the drugstore was by Maybelline. It's Fit Me Maybelline's concealer. Now, when I was first starting out doing like makeup and learning techniques and stuff and what products I liked, I gravitated towards this because it's cost friendly and it's really great concealer. Now, the only thing I couldn't find at the drugstore, because I went to Walmart. So maybe if like I'd gone to Ulta or maybe even Target, I would have had more options, but I couldn't find a flat definer brush. So I'm gonna be using the flat definer brush that I have by MAC for my high-end brow and also my drugstore brow. And so yeah, we're gonna get into it now, and I hope that you enjoy this. So let's start with the high end. So let's go into it. A little goes a long way. So I just am gonna dab my brush in there slightly just to get some product on there. Oh, real quick, I got myself a present tonight. So I had like $30 in rewards at Ulta, and I had this beautiful piece of art in my favorites for like a long time. It's by Becca. I love Becca's products. They just are amazing. And it's a sunlit bronzer. Oh, just look at it. It's so beautiful. I used it tonight, if you can tell. I don't know if you can. Hopefully it looks good. I mean, it looks good from here, so. But it's like $38, and so I always hesitate buying stuff because I'm like, ugh, I already have stuff like that. Do I really need another bronzer? And I went into Ulta today and it was 50% off. The stars were aligned. I had to get it, so I did. I was really excited about it. And I love it. It's so beautiful. Please forgive me. This is really my very first tutorial. And so I actually kind of like practice ran filming a tutorial the other night, you know, like in my pajamas, and my hair was just a mess. But I noticed like half the time I was like this. I'm like, you're so ridiculous. You're never gonna make it. So I'm gonna try my hardest to make sure that I am not covering my face with the compact mirror. Anyways, let's get into it before my makeup product starts to dry out on my brush. So my biggest thing is kind of like where I start putting in the product, because I think wherever you start is where it's going to be the most, and it's going to be, if you don't put in the right spot on your eyebrow, it's going to be too hard to try and, you know, work with it. So I always start kind of like towards the beginning of my eyebrow, and I'm just going to zoom in just a bit if I can figure this out. Yeah, there we go. I like to just start kind of in the middle. And I always start on the bottom. Wow, look at that. That's pretty. I didn't even use any highlight. That's all from that sunlit bronzer. So it's like it does two things in one. It bronzes and it highlights, which is nice. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start doing my makeup. So again, I just go in and I like to start in the middle, kind of. And it's always important to follow the grain of your eyebrow, like how it grows, your eyebrow hair, because if you don't, then you're just gonna run into an issue of just making it not look so natural. So yeah, I just start to carve it out and take it down to the tail. And I just do it lightly, because if you're too heavy-handed, it's going to be so hard to work with. If you're just light with it, light strokes, it's going to be so much easier to work with. And so I just keep doing that, same kind of technique, light strokes, and making that line. And okay, honestly, you don't have to be perfect. That's what I love about the concealer and the definer brush at the end, is because you can go in and clean up any areas where you're like, ugh, that looks terrible. It's just a beautiful erasing magic thing, I believe. Whatever I just said, I don't know. Anyways, getting back to what I was doing. So then I just start, once I've like created a good underline of my brow, and I don't really like to go too underneath the hairs or too above the hairs, because I like to just keep it really natural looking. So then I just start taking the product that's on the brush, still haven't used any more, and I just start kind of blending it into my hairs. And doing that. Yeah, it's already looking so great. Okay, so going back. Now that I've got, you know, it kind of blended, I'll just keep going in a little bit more over here to bring in some more product. Oh, can you see me? Girls who do YouTube tutorials, makeup tutorials, like, and they're just like amazing, I give you mad props because this is so much harder than it looks. But I'm having fun. That's what's important, right? Oh my goodness. So we're gonna go back in and just keep going in. I'm just gonna start making a little bit more defined arch because I just really don't, like my eyebrows start to thin out so much on my arch and like my tail because of just, you know, whatever reasons. But I don't like to go too heavy on it because, oh, and I'm sorry, I did dip a little bit more of my brush into my pomade just to give it some more product because I was running out, which is totally fine. Still just a tad bit. And so then I just start creating just a really light arch because I don't like to go too crazy. And then I'm just going to bring that in and connect it with the tail. And I really kind of like just a really pretty curved arch, not too like I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. So like that right there feels perfect for me. The very last thing I'll do with the eyebrow product is I'll just go in, and now there's definitely no more left. I mean, there's a tad bit, but I won't put any more in when I'm gonna go in and do the beginning of my brow. I don't know what that's called, but I'll go in and I'll just slightly define it, the line, and then bring it up. And this will give it a good faded look. Or I guess some girls will call it ombre look. Ombre. And yeah. And if I feel like it's a little too much, like 'cause some of my hairs are a little shorter right here than like where it starts. And so I'll just kind of flick it a bit going this way with the brush, to make it look like I have more hair right there. Now it's done. I'll go in and just clean it up a tad bit with some concealer and on my flat definer brush. And I'm not going to need a ton because I didn't mess up too much today, which is just, you know, beautiful. That's not to say I don't mess up never, like, or I never mess up. Like I have some days where I'm just like, oh, let me just give me some brow hairs here, whatever. So I'll just go in real quickly and do that. And you can see I just am very light with it. I don't like it to be too heavy. And this just helps you carve out the arch too a little bit more. Oh, there I am, covering my face. And then I'll just take that and take it down to the tail. And then I'll blend it all out to make sure I don't have any, like, oh, any harsh lines. This is so fun. I love doing my makeup. Okay, and that's it. But I'm just gonna go in real quickly and do the other eye. I'm not gonna show you in depth because I don't want you to be like, why is this video so long? It's just an eyebrow tutorial. So I'm just gonna quickly do it. Stay tuned. So I'm just gonna kind of do it quickly. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me for this brow on my left to just do any cleanup. And I just really wanted to show you that you could really achieve the same look like this, even though this is high end, with a drugstore products. It's very achievable, and it just takes practice, you know. Like, again, I wasn't perfect. Even though like you feel like you're really good at it, there's nothing better than getting a compliment. That just confirms that you're like, oh yeah. So it makes me really happy that I'm able to do this video for you and show you how I do my brows, and I had so much fun. There you have it, high-end drugstore. It just takes practice, and you know, you can't expect to be perfect at it unless you're just, you know, some type of makeup wizard. I'm glad I was able to show you how I do it, to share my technique with you. You know, again, I was pretty nervous, but you know, I don't care. You know, I was just happy to do it. I love doing my brows. It's something that I feel like I have perfected for my face and my shape. And so hopefully you can take something from this and use it for your own. Yeah, I'm so glad that you watched. Again, if you like this video, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because I just have so much more coming your way. And once you do subscribe, don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss a video from me. Thank you so much for watching. I had such a blast doing this for you. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.